the Great American Crawl. We're at Windrock Park in Oliver Springs, Tennessee.
We are here for the last crawl of the 2025 season.
Everybody okay?
You all right?
Yep.
Yep.
I believe Windrock is something like 70,000 acres.
Yes.
You never get bored with Windrock. There's always something more to do, always another trail to be found.
You go to other parks and you feel like, okay, I'm at a park and there's a fence around me. Windrock, you feel like there is no fence and you can go any direction at the horizon and you're never gonna run out of trail.
It's gonna be a good day, Ian.
Yeah, slow. I'm okay with that.
Checking the forecast, before the event, it's East Coast, it's probably going to rain, and so it rained all week leading up to the event, obviously. It rained a decent bit on Friday, on and off, so everything was wet.
So on day one, we did Trail 16.
It was hard.
It was hard, and especially with the rain and the mud, it was really hard.
So we started late to begin with. The weather kind of pushed us back. We didn't get to the trailhead until, I would say, 11:30. And Trail 16 is normally a difficult trail, but it's not the hardest trail there, by any means.
On Sunday, the three of us did Trail 16 from parking lot up and down to parking lot 4.5 hours. Now granted, it was dry, but that's crazy.
So you're saying we didn't do bad?
No, we didn't do bad. We didn't do bad at all.
But
Nailed it.
That's crazy.
I thought Trail 16 meant if you get it in 16 hours or less.
Oh, winner, chicken dinner.
Right.
We're going to wait at the intersection of 2 and 16 for everybody, and we'll regroup and then hit 16 together.
We got up to the trail of the head of Trail 16.
Yeah.
Nobody heard from Andy or Jordan.
We knew Jordan was running a little bit hot, so we assumed Jordan was running hot, so we just kind of sat there talking. Finally, it's like, okay, this has been a really long time. Like, he should have been cooled down up here by
something's
now.
wrong.
Yeah.
This is the Great American Crawl, Windrock, day one.
Wow.
We were going, it was a super steep hill and had that hard left. He was in that turn. Figured out what was wrong. He lost the U-joint in his front drive shaft at the transfer case side. It looked like the U-bolts that hold it in sheared.
Front drive shaft. Bolt sheared off.
Had to pee already. What size is it? We were able to pull the shaft all the way out. I had a 1410 U-joint, which is what he's running. So I had a brand new one in the box. We swapped the caps from that one onto the one that was in his drive shaft, so we didn't have to press it out. And then I had hardware with that joint, so we had new U-bolts. And yeah, I mean, that was it. It was a quick swap.
Minor setback. He went back, fixed it, made it back to us. In the beginning, we had that one climb.
I would say the noticeable rock features on the beginning of Trail 16 it was all about momentum, right? They weren't huge, but as long as you maintain momentum, and it was fairly easy, even in the slime.
was awesome.
Why did that sound like a pissed off V6 coming up the hill?
Hey.
have never wheeled at this park, so definitely new having my Jeep here, and my Jeep did great so far this weekend. I got a PSC on my Jeep, and the steering is amazing. It feels like a whole new Jeep.
She likes to be a little bit more controlled, know what to expect, and she doesn't like to just send it and hope for the best. So she wasn't super stoked about coming down here in the rain, but I think it's good for her. You know, it gives her a feel for everything. Yeah.
From my perspective, she's really learning the rig. Mm-hmm. You know, in every different scenario you come into, it's fantastic to see that she's able to grasp that and really learn the rig that is built for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Windrock is one of the bigger parks that we wheel. There's a lot of driving in between obstacles or even getting to your trail. There's quite a bit of driving. I know even getting off the trail yesterday was like a good half-hour drive just to get down the mountain. This park is definitely different, but there's so much here for you to do, whether you're an easy rig or the extreme rig.
There's definitely a ton of driving. 16 in particular, it was really overall long, and there was a lot of washouts that you would go through, little V-notches that just kept you on your side. You couldn't ride them because it was wet and slippery and slick. And so there was a lot of that. Then you would come up to a little rock obstacle, and then you would drive a lot more and then come to the next rock obstacle. So there's definitely a lot of driving. It is really pretty out here though. You are on top of a mountain. It was nice.
So we hit 16, and the entrance to 16 had more standing water than I have ever seen on any trail there.
We had the one big climb in the beginning, and then from there it was just deep ruts.
A lot of V-notches.
they are huge walls that are taller than I think most of our Jeeps. It was just crazy to see, and the mud kept pushing you into the wall, and you just had to steer into it to keep yourself off of it.
It was funny, the guy from Baja Designs that came out from Canada with Baja, he was riding passenger and he kept watching that mirror. He's like, man, that mirror.
You don't ever knock these mirrors off? Oh yeah.
Those Scotch mirrors keep me handy.
Yes,
This
those Scotch
weekend a
mirrors,
lot.
they take a lot. I mean, yeah, the way the McDuce built, stuff like that, I mean, it handles all that stuff great, and you throw the harness in, the PRP harness, the PRP seats. I mean, it's just, I mean, those guys were even saying, they're like, man, with these harnesses, it's doing the job. It's just keep me secure. And it's, the one guy's like, I thought I was going to be beat up after a day out here. And so that's good to hear, you know, other people getting in their car and just knowing that it works the way it's intended to be, so.
Here, boys.
The ruts were really deep. I was trying really hard the whole time to get the front tire to like climb up onto them, and either they were just too steep, too wet, too slick. I was trying really hard to protect my one remaining Scotch mirror on the driver's side. I was trying really hard to like keep it safe because I totally didn't rip the other one off on accident. You try to turn up into them and it's just not happening. So you just kind of ride in the rut with the rut. You become the rut.
When you were coming down this the other day, I'm assuming you guys walked the V, right?
Yeah, it's too slippery now.
Yeah. Did you see me?
Yeah, you had it until it slipped.
Yeah, and then it slipped
Now
off.
you can't get back up there.
You can't. Well, but I have rear steer. No one's gonna get up there.
Why do we need to?
Because down there, the water's completely washed out the right side, and it's like a 4-foot drop off camber. Like I'll go down and try it, but I know I'm gonna put body into the rocks.
If you put body into it, I'm gonna back out. It's so fascinating, right? Every time you get in these V-notches and you're off camber, you just turn the Mickey into it a little bit, and the sidewall and the tires just eat it up, and it pushes the body away, and you know you're gonna be fine, which is great.
There's that mirror. I don't want to reach out and grab it. Poor steering. I know. You gotta feed it some ATF. Nothing to it.
I like the water features, but yeah, we don't have a lot of stuff like that in Michigan. The run water, stuff like that.
We don't have high elevations,
No.
so when all that water comes down the mountain, it finds its own way down. So any little path it can
I think
find,
it's cool when it's
creates
after
anything.
rain like that. Yeah, I mean, you got waterfalls all around. I think we had that in the Black Mountain a couple years ago. We went there. I mean, that was another one where it's just you get in the creek bed and it's just you got waterfalls all around you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a cool feature of it. Probably 1,500, 2,000 feet in elevation just on Trail 16. I think is what OnX was showing, something like that. Just when you think you're to the top, you know, looking at OnX, I'm like, we got to still keep climbing up and up. And
it always reminds me. This park reminds me of it every time. My dad always says, "I used to walk to school uphill both ways," and that's how it felt. You know, all weekend is everywhere you go, it's uphill.
Jake, he said you could go.
I pulled up with Nick and Rockbug right up to the two options of the ledges, and he went on the left one, and it really had to work it to get his front tires over, and they fell right in. Well, it's hard to see, but there's a massive hole on the other side. It's really dug out. He tried it for a while and he did it. He got over the second one and did that. Finally worked his way back over the first one and finally got it.
Slippery. Well, what's my next option? Pull cable or? Oh, I could just take the bypass.
I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a chance. All 40 horses I have were just holding on for dear life. And I figured I'd go on the right side because I knew I had done it earlier in the week, but no, I couldn't even get within 10 feet of it. So I backed down and ripped up the bypass because that was the only way I was getting up the bypass. Yeah, bypass.
It's like a long crawl.
Long crawl uphill. It would, yeah.
Flat face
right
rock.
next to the edge, right? There's a thin line of trees, and you go down to the creek below. It was gnarly.
For some reason, I thought we were done, probably because it was like dark. We were getting into there, and I thought we were done. And so I was sitting in my Jeep, and I'm like, man, I'm hearing a lot of engine screaming.
I ate a lot of mud on the bypass. I barely would identify as bypass, and it was nuts.
Woo! Even very capable rigs had trouble going up the bypass. Like I winched the entire way up. My Jeep was going nowhere. Wherever I thought it would go would slide off the rock.
I thought I was going to go up the bypass. You know, it was a winch fest for some. I think we had a drag winch quite a few. Well, Danielle was one of them.
She was in front of you.
Yep.
We pulled cable almost darn near up the whole way.
Yeah.
We're just going to take her up to this big one, and then we'll move her.
That Jeep up on there, and she probably put 10 miles in on that rig in one spot. It didn't go anywhere. She burned tire. She gave it a hell of a try, but that line was just, you had to be perfectly set up with the optimal wheelbase for that obstacle and have just enough power.
I just saw ledges and I said, wow, actual rocks, I can do something. And so I don't know if it was just the way my wheelbase, the way the rocks were spread out just right, that I was trying to climb both at one time, and even, you know, backing up, grabbing second, trying to bump it up, like to get up the first ledge, to even think about the second ledge, it just wasn't happening. Tried driver, tried passenger, and I tried bumping it, tried crawling it, and it was just not having it. My rig's really heavy, and so heavy and wet and slick doesn't mean for success for my Jeep. So I took that into account. I beat on it, smoked the tires a good bit, gave it its best shot, and unfortunately, you can't make everything. was behind Chris. He pulls forward and I go to pull forward and my steering wheel just won't move like at all. And I'm like, huh, that's cool. Haven't run into this issue before. No paparazzi, please.
Kill it?
The power steering line was rubbing the pulley, so it put a hole in the power steering line. So full hydro, I have no steering right now.
We might need to call Outback and cancel those reservations.
Oh, damn, we were gonna go to Outback?
Yeah, we had a reservation for 24. What I call a Cherokee repair kit.
Oh.
We got duct tape and zip ties.
That's all you need.
That's all we need. So.
The low pressure line was rubbing the pulley and it had wore itself a nice little hole. So I had lost all of my power steering fluid, and as a full hydro rig, you have no fluid, you have zero movement. So that was an interesting one, trying to makeshift a fix.
So I added a sandwich bag from my lunch today and about 18 zip ties. We're gonna try that.
That didn't work. We tried the end of my breather tube for the axle. We cut that and then slid it down the middle and tried to wrap that around it and then zip tie that on. That wouldn't do it. And then Nick Ashby was like, Kim, I have a barb. And I'm like, that's great, Nick. And there's fluid running down my arms. I can barely hold the dikes to cut the zip ties off because I'm so slimy. And that was the trail fix, and then it was today's fix as well. Yeah.
Your nails are still beautiful.
Dude, it's so girly, but like I feel obligated to get my nails done before an event because like I need to like.
We still gotta look cute and real.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
cute.
but it is a thing.
Bumping you. How do you get in this thing without getting tetanus? Duck your head in first. Oh.
The bypass was rough. Again, slick, wet, uphill. My Jeep is heavy. It doesn't do it no matter what you do. Back up, second gear, floor it. It goes about 3 feet and then it just stops. So there was a few times I did pull cable on it. I'm not gonna sit there and put a rod through the side of the block. It's just not worth it in my eyes to sit there and beat on it. It's something so silly in a way. Definitely tough for a bypass though. That was rowdy.
There was a lot of big rocks on that one. And that mud, like I said, it just pushed you everywhere.
You couldn't, no. There was no steering. At one point, I was trying to get around your Jeep to get up a little bump.
Yeah. You fought that for a while.
I was getting so mad. My wheels are completely turned this way, and the ruts are going this way. And no matter what I did, the Jeep just stayed in the ruts. Crawling it, flooring it, trying to get the back shifted over into a different rut. It just, no matter what I did, it was awful. Finally pulled cable at one point because I was like, this is silly now. And then even then, like it took so much to get it up out of the ruts.
I was at the bottom of it looking at it. I thought about taking a bypass and I thought, you know what, I came here to wheel. I'm not super comfortable yet with the 392. It's a whole lot different than my little red Jeep that I've been wheeling for years. I'm really comfortable with that one. But boy, that is a whole different machine. You just kind of point it in a direction and give it a little momentum and it just goes. So yeah, I was on the 43-inch Mickey Thompson Pro X stickies, and man, they really hooked up. They just
even in the even in the slop, they hook up.
That was a lot of fun.
She just hit the tree. That doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I thought I was going to go up the bypass. Yeah, and that was my intent to go up that way. By the time we got Danielle up there, I came back down the hill, and then Nick said, well, why don't you come over this way? And so I decided to go to the left side. And I thought, you know what, this will be better. Put tires on it, see, maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't. And if I don't, we'll just winch up over, and from there.
It's a lot shorter.
Yeah,
shorter.
Yeah, I'll just winch up, and then it's easy sailing there. I mean, I think it was actually easier than the bypass. Felt a little sketchy coming in the way it was, but once I kind of got planted on the obstacle, I felt good.
Everyone hang on.
Give it some speed, but not a shitload.
The second, I think it was just the second time, it didn't feel so good. It was kind of when things went south.
Yeah.
I didn't get a feel for the whole obstacle and what I was sitting next to or anything. Right. Sounded like there was a hole to the left of me. But yeah, I took the bounce, but I shot it the first time and it felt good. Just reset a little bit, gave it a little bit more, but yeah, that front tire took quite the bounce.
Damn, buddy.
Kill it.
You okay? Yeah, we're all good. Let's get a winch on and get it upright.
Do we want to crawl out or just hang out?
Nope, hang on.
And I'm like, why is no one back there helping me? And then Cam's on his side.
Cam's on his side?
Cam's on his side. Did you see him?
Oh,
Cam's on his side.
The mirror survived.
Tone stayed put.
Yeah, that's sick.
Right? That plan
And it kind of happened pretty fast. Like all of a sudden it just started going to the left. I did reach up and I hit reverse, but watching the video, reverse could have made it worse if it would have been engaged. It might have thrown more momentum at me and pushed me further down the hill.
Yeah.
So we went over, and I kind of thought we were going to keep going down the hill from the feel of it, but luckily we got wedged up against the wall, stopped us. Everything on the Jeep did what it was supposed to do. Harnesses held us in, the cage held up, everything worked.
At that time, me and Danielle were at the top. We had no idea. We heard a boom and yeah, someone probably just
broke something.
Someone probably just broke an axle shaft or something. No.
We actually thought it was you coming up at that time, and him and I kind of looked at each other. We were like, I hope another Jeep didn't break, or I hope somebody just hit something but can still move. Nick just calmly came up to bring his rig down, and he just said, Cameron rolled, everyone's okay, I'm gonna go help. So, and that's what I found out. That's how I found out. I'm like, oh my goodness.
They hooked the Factor 55 line up to my rock slide. It rolled it over. I mean, it felt longer than it probably was just because we were hanging there.
It was back over pretty quick.
Yeah. I was concerned, you know, I got a Hemi in there, and I've heard horror stories. Once those things go over, I've heard horror stories of not being able to get the oil out of it and hurting the engine. So I was super concerned about that. I wanted to get it back on all fours. And I think everyone just pulled together and made that happen super fast.
That's not quite the experience that we were trying to sign you up for, but
Shit happens, man. Shit happens.
that's right.
We're all okay. That's all that matters.
Oh hey, there's a hose clamp Cameron was looking for earlier.
Oh, there it is.
What? I looked for one.
Yeah.
Shut up. Was it there?
There it is in the tray.
We just had to, you know, shake you a little bit to find it.
I mean, you could have just asked again.
I was very shocked that my son wasn't shaken. He's never been in any sort of rollover car accident, anything. So he was very calm, and he just said, he's like, I did what I was supposed to do, and I grabbed my straps. So I'm like, thank you for doing that. I was not prepared by how emotional I was gonna be walking up to it, to see it. You can't prepare for that, to see your husband and son in a rig, but they were safe.
Trying to turn, but it won't.
Yeah, you're bound up.
Do the back. Winch line or what? Winch line.
That was Nick's winch line?
Apparently.
Yeah, you're gonna come around okay. Yep. Easy. We even missed the bike.
All right, hold up.
Good, good.
There's nothing on the filter. I'd bump it. Just bump it.
Good.
Don't crank. Just bump.
Okay.
Bump it. Ooh. That noise was not good.
So yeah, the Hemi's got 2 spark plugs per cylinder, so not only 8, we had 16 plugs to get out, and putting a 6.4 Hemi in a Jeep gives pretty tight quarters. So we were pulling the tip, and we were pulling a lot of stuff to get out of the way, harnesses, and there was just a lot to get out of the way to even get to the plugs.
That's dry, actually.
It's not too bad.
That one's dry.
Those front 2 cylinders weren't great.
All right, go.
So no, we got all the plugs out, rolled it over. Not a lot of oil really came out of it, but got everything back together, and luckily it fired up. So the lights were smashed all the way down. We were able to straighten that back up, took the covers off, hit the S-Pod, the light came right on. So we actually used the light the whole way out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wanted to take the bypass line and just do that bouncer light style wheel and floor it right through it. But by the time I got up to it, we had already done the recovery, and it was already nearing that 12-hour mark, and we were all exhausted. So I put tires on the harder line, just call it, just go ahead and hook a line up, and didn't take much to actually get it up, but just winched it up so we could just call it a night or an early morning. "12 hours later, we made it off, but one trail in 12 hours, I mean,
That's pretty tough.
that's pretty tough.
My Jeep was at the very bottom until the last person came up. I told Cameron Cole, I was like, when I start, I'm not stopping. I started at the bottom, and you don't hear me beat on my vehicle very much because it crawls really well, and I try to be technical about things. But on that one, I was like, I'm ready to be out of here. It's muddy. I'm not gonna crawl anything. I have to have wheel speed, and I sent it. And through my Baja lights, nothing but mud slinging. And I'm like, this is gonna suck to clean when I get home, but I'm having so much fun.
that point, everyone had the same mindset, is to just gun it and go and get out. And thankfully, when we finally found the road, it still was very hot. And I was wondering why Cameron in front of me kept hitting his brakes and was going super slow. Well, his windshield is cracked.
Yeah, so the windshield was pretty, the passenger side was definitely worse. I had some big cracks on the driver's side, but yeah, once we got out of there, it was a trip getting back down.
It was a very full day. I looked at my watch when we finally got in the truck and it was 1 o'clock, and that hurt a little bit.
Are we all going to pass by that she called it a minus head screwdriver?
I wasn't going to say that.
What did she call it?
Now's not the time, Jordan.
A minus head screwdriver.
Plus or minus.
I mean, you get it.
I was like, wait a minute. Are we all
who's
gonna
Philip and why is this?
Just let this go by?
I mean, the bad part, we all knew exactly where she was going. I like, it tracks.
Who's
plus and
Philip
minus.
anyway? Why does he get?
They're plus heads.